guys, welcome back to our channel.
Today we're going to be doing a highly requested video from you guys.
We'll be doing a barn tour. It's been a while since we've done them, but they do take a long time to make.
Let's get into this. Hope you enjoy.
Let's just start with the vet trailer.
So we just got this vet trailer set, and Kendra the vet is checking up on Spud. He's a Tennessee Walker foal, and he's eating some carrots.
Inside we have Espresso, the Andalusian mare.
Behind the vet trailer, we have the stallions and geldings pasture, and we made the fence out of chicken wire.
First, we have Teddy, the Peruvian Paso stallion, and the Shire stallion that isn't Schleich and also doesn't have a name. He's next to the hay feeder.
Back here is Kentucky, the Mustang stallion, and Phantom, the paint horse gelding, and they have a little water trough.
Then we have a homemade barn, and in front is a welcome sign, jump X's, and hay.
Then on the other side is a wheelbarrow, pitchfork, and hay. Inside there's two stalls, and this one has our repainted halfwinger mare in full. This one is Kavi, and this one is Aurora.
Then is Malibu, the Arabian stallion, and he has a jolly ball. They also each have a halter hook.
On this side of the barn, there's a couple posters and Nacho the cat in his cat bed. There's a cone, a hay bale, and a bucket, and a hitching ring.
Here we have some empty cross ties. Then back here is a feed room with a bunch of feed bags.
Then here's a halter rack and a shelf with just a bunch of random stuff. Then there's also a feed bin right here. Next to this barn, there's a fake Schleich named Patty riding Tack, the Mustang stallion.
In front of another barn, there's a bench and a welcome sign. Inside this barn, there's a cat feeder and a pole. Then also there's a plaque with ribbons and also a poster on the wall.
Again, there's two stalls, but this one kind of turned into a feed room, so there's a bunch of feed bags and a hay bale, and I think a mouse got into this feed bag. There was real food in there. I guess we shouldn't have done that.
In this stall, we have Haven, the Hanoverian mare, and Maverick, the Self-Francais foal. They have grain and hay.
Go straight from where you walk in, and there's the tack room, and we have some saddles and bridles. Then there's some more cross ties, a feed container, a poster, and a shelf that's just a mess.
On the other side, there is a blanket, a shelf with more random things, and a feed bag.
Behind this barn, we have the indoor arena, and we have Sarah on Chief, the Marwari stallion, and Sophia on Epona, the Oldenburg mare, and they have some cones to go around.
There's also jump X's, mini cones, dressage flashcards, and letters.
Over here, there's an empty chest with some helmets. There's also some pulls, a dog bowl, and a dog bed with a little chihuahua in it.
Then here is where they tack up, so here's a grooming kit, hitching post with a halter, and a bucket.
There's also a broom and a tack set. Behind this, I apologize for the lighting, but there's a picnic set up with Emily.
Then there's a stable with Blossom, the Andalusian mare. She has hay and apples. Next to her is Caspian, the Frisian stallion, and there's a grooming kit in front.
Then we have a stall for Dustin, the Hanoverian gelding. Then Kelly's grooming Stella, the Self-Francais mare, and she has a hay net.
Here's another little stable.
The horses inside are Jewel, the Holsteiner mare, and Bjorn, the Fjord gelding. Then next to it, we have the mare and foal's pasture, and here's Dove, the Silver Doppel mare.
Then the two foals fighting are Stormy, the quarter horse colt, and Roan, the Criollo colt. Here's Roan's mom, Cleo.
Then they have a hay net and a water trough. In front of the pasture is a little doghouse with Effie, the golden doodle, and she has a bone and a stick. Then there's also another doghouse here with a bull.
In this stall, we have Mickey, the Icelandic stallion.
Then here's another stall, and we have Copper, the Mustang foal, and Amber, the Peruvian Paso mare. Then we have Marilla, the Rocky Mountain mare, being ridden by Tasha.
Then here is a shed barn with tack and feed, tie, ring, whip, and a chicken.
Inside is Sunny, the Tennessee Walker mare, and she has apples and a little treat. This is what we've covered so far, so now we're going to look at this barn. Back here is a little campsite with a tent, a campfire, and two chairs. This is Biscuit, the lab puppy, and Betsy, a not real Schleich person.
In front of the campsite, we have our tack shop, and Michael is running it.
Underneath the front desk is some jewelry and some grooming brushes. For sale, we have blankets, mucking out tools, saddle pads, random things,
helmets, grooming tools, treats, a feed bag, some saddle equipment.
Then saddles here and halters and lead ropes on the wall. Then we have the main show barn, and outside of it we have Tom riding Duke, the Trackner gelding, and ponying Daisy, the Arabian mare, and also Georgia, the Aussie dog, is following them.
There's also hay, an empty saddle stand, and Brianna grooming Cappuccino, the Andalusian stallion, and there's a grooming tote next to them.
Then we have the Morning Glory stable sign, and behind it is a little Boston Terrier dog named Richard, and he's not Schleich, he's a Safari LTD.
Then there's another sign, and inside we have Lexus and Rose's stall. They're both Oldenburgs, and there's a halter hanging up. Next to them is Benny, the Oldenburg stallion, and he has a saddle.
Just outside is a little paddock with two little ponies, so this is Coco, the Shetland Shetland mare, and Emerald, the Welsh pony mare. On this side of the barn, there's some grooming kits, a saddle pad and bareback pad, and inside this stall we have the halflinger mare in full, so this is Noelle and this is Kiara. Then in this stall we have Mystery the Arabian mare, and she has her halter. Behind the barn we have a little feed room, and there's a bunch of feed bags right here, some halters hanging up, feed pans, and random other things.
Then on this side is more like a tack room, and there are the Shiba dogs, Aiko and Yoshi. There's also a crate with some whips and crops.
Then there's some grooming kits and a desk, and then a couple saddles right here. Then also a feed bag and some halters. And just outside of it is a little saddle that one of our subscribers sent us.
To this side of the barn, we have two mares, Roxy the paint mare and Sugar Cookie the fjord mare.
Then here's another mare's pasture with some apples, and this is Petre, the Lipizzaner mare. Then we have a hay feeder and Tango, the Pura Raza Española young horse. And this is Chandra, the Marwari mare. And then Luna is Tango's mom.
Here's another pen with Gus, the Ardenne stallion, and he is not Schleich. Then also Charlie, the Andalusian stallion.
They also have some apples and carrots and some hay. Outside of it, we have Hawk, the Hanoverian mare, being led by Sarah, and Hawk is hand painted by my friend. Also, yes, we have duplicates of Sarah, so we just put them all out. I know it doesn't really make sense, but it's fine. Then we have some hay, the Dalmatian dog, so this is Dolly and Darcy, and there's a little dog toy.
Then there's a barrel, poles, hay bale, and bench.
Then we have Sage leading Marigold, the quarter horse mare. Then way back here we have an agility course set up, and another duplicate of Sophia is teaching. She's teaching Peter and Scout, who does not have a breed.
Then our third Zara is lunging Romeo, the Appaloosa gelding.
Then we have our outdoor arena, and in front is Rex, the German Shepherd, and he has a dog toy and some hay bales next to him. Jennifer's teaching the lesson, and there's a mounting block made out of clay and a little flower pot. Then we have a course set up, and Madison is riding Tiki, the Tennessee Walker mare. And there's a bunch of obstacles here and some barrels and a jump outside.
Then here we have Hannah riding Cayenne, the quarter horse gelding, and Hannah is Madison's older sister.
Behind the arena we have the mares and foals pasture, so here we have the Appaloosas, Honey and Juliet, then the Knapstrappers, Sparks and Ash, and then there's some hay over here.
The quarter horses Tiffany and Toffee, the trackners Callie and Kiki, and then a pond with some ducks. Now for the front of the house, there's a dog toy and some tree planters. Here's Louis the St. Bernard and Popcorn the Beachbound Freeze. Then there's a little wagon, and another Hannah is leading Buttercup the Halflinger mare. And over here is a homemade barbecue.
Now we're going to look at what's underneath the table.
First, let's start with the house.
In the front room, there's a table and some posters on the wall. And then we have the dining room, so here's the table, and then a fridge and a sink. Then there's a shelf and an oven and a calendar on the wall.
Then we have the stairs. Here's the living room, so here's a dog bed, a couch, and a fireplace.
Coming upstairs, we have Hannah's bedroom, and she has a balcony. And here we have the bathroom, and then next to it is Kelly's room, and she has a nightstand and some pictures on the wall. And upstairs we have Emily's bedroom, and then she has her bed, a little reading nook, and then some storage things. Now let's show you the hospital.
In the front room, there are some kittens and a shelf.
And here is Ashley, and she's taking care of Belle and Pumpkin, the Arabians.
Up here, there is a shower room and some storage shelves.
And then in the last room, we have Noah taking care of the cheetah family. Over here, we have the vet safari truck and the cage. We're getting so close to being done. This table is the last thing, and this is where we keep most of the other animals besides horses. So here's a trailer and some chickens, and then we have the zoo. In this pen, we have Ziva, Xena, Zara, and Zoe.
Then we have the giraffes, Gina, Juniper, and G.
Behind them is a tree, and then a shelter, and a little parrot. Then we have Ricardo the rhino, and the elephants are Princess and Dumbo. And they also have some food and water. And then in this pen are just some farm animals, so we have the donkeys, Sparrow, Mary, and Stewie. Then we have the piglets, Pinky, Peppa, and Pickles. Then we have a water trough and Spotty, the American spotted donkey. Then we have two sheep, Susie, and this one's not Schleich. Then we have some goats, Gertie, Muffin, Charcoal, and I don't know this one's name. Then we have two more sheep, Lambo and Fancy.
This is Darla the camel, and then the deer and elk, Donner, Elliot, Ella, and Bambi.
And then we have a rodent hutch, and there's some carrots and lettuce out here, and we have not actually named all of our rodents. I forget all their names, so. And then we have Terry the llama.
Then there's a windmill and two silos for storage, and here's a cat without a name.
Then there's two more cats, Mr. C and Tilly. Then we have River the Norca Stallion, and he's pulling a cart. Then there's a wash rack and an empty stall, and this is the pickup. And here's another barn. Before we go in the barn, let's look at the cows. We have Ferdinand the Black Bull, Ronnie the Highland, and Brandon the Texas Longhorn.
Then we have these three without names, and we're using a fidget toy as a cow scratcher.
Now coming inside the barn, the top thing can open, and the loft is just a huge mess. We forgot to clean it out, so we're just not even gonna look at that. But there's a couple stalls in here, all filled with horses, and a little cow. This is Cowgirl. All these horses in the stalls are Icelandic, so this is Crystal and Ruby, then there's Waffles, and then there's Minnie. And back there is a mess, but there's some feed bags and a sign.
So finally we finished the barn tour. Boy, that took a while to film.
We're sorry it took so long to get a barn tour out. We haven't done one in a long time, and I hope it was worth it for you guys. This is our biggest barn yet.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.